Good morning, everyone. Happy April the 13th, 2025. We're doing church, the Church of I Am. I'm really happy to be doing this. Oh, what a job this is. I hope everyone's doing well. Let's let people start getting in the room. Got 100 people here. That's awesome. People are beginning to schedule this. Hopefully my sound's good. If somebody give me a sound check, thumbs up, good morning, um, whatever. All right. How's the sound now? You guys can hear me, I take it? That's awesome. Awesome. I want to say hello to all the people that are here today. Network Access, Captain Longboarder, Yowzer. Oh, by the way, Yowzer, I want to congratulate Yowzer. Yowzer, I told my 6-year-old to do affirmations every morning. That's awesome. Um, that is really, really, really awesome, dude. That's like imagine if every 5-year-old kid had a parent saying, "Hey, look, every day we got to do the IMs." Just you buy them a little book for Christmas or their birthday, a cool little book like this, unique. It's its own little book. It's all you do is put your own. It's your church book, dude. It's your you. It's your inventory of who you are. I have so many notes in these books. Just to go over a couple of them, just show you guys that this isn't faked out, right? Like this was this was 3 weeks ago, and I'm writing things down like criticism, junior high. I am Gary. I am me. Uh, quiet. I need to be quiet. See, I'm making lots of comments, things that I'm cogniting on, having cognitions. Um, just tons of notes about, especially about managing people around me in my space. So, and that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about um, when you start doing this discovery of who you are. Uh, it was very interesting this morning. I was listening to something that I think it was Alan Watts, and one of the things one of the things that really hit me was when you come home, when you come to your home, or when you do whatever you do every day, and you come home um, to an empty home. Um, I have had to like embrace the value of having an empty home. Walking around here, I have a large place. I actually like large places because I take up a lot of space, but two, um, I don't know. It's something about being able to walk around a big space, very quiet, and realize, hey, there's no one here to get me off track. I'm literally now looking for, I think what I've realized is that no one is going to affirm me enough as long as I'm not affirming myself. In fact, I actually don't even think anyone needs to affirm me anymore. I mean, it's lovely getting a note from someone, hey, man, I'm teaching my 5-year-old how to do this. Now, that's an affirmation that, I mean, he didn't say anything about me. He said he's doing it, and it affirms me. Wow, that's cool. But till I am who I am in everyday life, now I realize why no affirmations, no, hey, good, congrats, you did a good job, you earned it. None of that really ever sunk until I was able to affirm myself. None of the affirmations that I may receive from other people are valuable to me until I can affirm and accept my own affirmations myself. Like, I have to know that there are things that I am uniquely established for, whatever. Maybe it's my life condition, maybe it's my DNA, maybe it's DNA plus life conditions and a response to those and some of the teachings I had. Which, by the way, let's think about that. What I just said, the teachings I have had. A child comes into this universe, they go to school, they're pushed into a school system. No one ever asks them who they are. No one ever asks them really, like, no one actually encourages them. Why would you ask someone a question like, who are you, when they don't know? Like that would be a really bad question to ask somebody. Another bad question to ask someone is why they did something. If someone knows exactly the reason they did something that was wrong, against morals, against their ethics or whatever, against the group ethics or group morals, if it's not against their own viewpoint, if they haven't established within themselves who they are and what they stand for, how can they possibly not violate a group code? So what you do is you stick kids into school. They don't know who they are. You then start teaching them a bunch of stuff that, quite frankly, I'm beginning to ask, is any of the things that we're taught actually valuable until we know who we are? I know you're not going to know who you are when you're 5. I'm well over 5 by now, and I'm still trying to figure it out. But at least I know what the core principle is, and the core principle must be, in order for Gary to actually do and be whatever he was put on this planet to do and be, until I really understand that I am unique, I am one of one. I'm going to keep saying this over and over and over and over again until it just gets into at least one or two people's minds here. That you are so unique, so rare. The odds of you even being here are in the billions to one, the multiple billions to one. Yet you are here. I am convinced that 99.9% of us don't really know who we are. We know more about what's in a box of Kellogg's Fruit Loops than we do inside ourselves. Now that seems odd to me. Okay, and so there's one challenge. There's one challenge of I am, and that's just a solo play. You understand that your wife's not going to help you figure this out, right? There is no wife in I am. There is no girlfriend in I am. There's not a boyfriend. There's not a mommy. There's not a mentor in I am. I mean, all those people may be in your life, but at the end of the day, this is a solo journey. You came to this planet by yourself. You will most certainly leave this planet by yourself, irrespective of how big your family is or how small. It just simply doesn't matter. The question is, over the years that I lived, do I finally figure out why the hell I'm here? What am I doing? What is my purpose? It doesn't mean that I need to be all comfy, but I can't possibly look. I have chased things my entire life. I have chased affirmations. I've chased wanting to be a part of. I've chased wanting a girlfriend. I've chased wanting to have somebody in bed with me at night just to touch me, to make me feel better. I've chased money. I've chased all 4 or 5 of those things all at one time. I've mutated them. I've changed them. I've chased drugs for highs. I've chased women. I've chased adventures. I have literally done everything I possibly could external to myself to be more, know more, learn more, experience more. Maybe I was just guessing all along. I've been married 3 times. I use that as a way to, hey, let me see if I can, maybe that's the fix. In the fix, what was I trying to fix? Okay, I actually need to start trying to figure out how to use this board without having tons of glares in the room, but I'm going to do that. Actually, I think the audience would really enjoy me drawing some pictures of you or me, and then the influences around me. Okay, and that's really what we're going to be talking about. But the word dissonance. See, I write. I know you can't see it. It's terrible, but maybe if I actually use what most people use, which is a pen. I just love my pencils. The word that I'm writing down, and I want you to write this down if you would, if you're not driving, is dissonance, okay? Dissonance. See that? Dissonance. Now, dissonance, it's uncomfortable. Dissonance is, in fact, let me, I don't know that I can tell you exactly and properly the definition of dissonance. So let's just, the other thing that I would really encourage everyone to do while you're doing this whole I am thing is get a dictionary. Okay, buy a dictionary. I personally like physical dictionaries, but you use the electronic ones. The reason I like a book dictionary is that I get to flip through the books. When I do dissonance here, in fact, I'm going to just show it to you. If I can do this correctly. See, if I just don't get in a rush, you guys aren't in a big rush. So I don't know why I get in a big rush, but let's see. Oh, there we go. Okay, so dissonance refers to the lack of harmony or agreement, often creating tension. In music, it's clashing sounds that feel unstable, like notes that don't quite fit together. In psychology, which is what we're talking about here, in psychology, cognitive dissonance is the discomfort of holding conflicting beliefs or inconsistencies in your values, beliefs, like when actions don't match words. If you're asking something specific, like a situation, concept, or even a personal experience, give me a bit more work and I'll dig deeper. This is Grok's poor handling of the definition. Root word of dissonance. Root word of dissonance is blah, 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 blah. The root word is dissonare, from dis, apart from, and sonar, to sound. Okay, it literally means to sound apart. A sound apart, like that dissonance. Okay, how does dissonance show up in my life? Lonely, searching for something, anxious, a vibration that's like not really, I'm not really that comfortable with. Maybe some emotions, and these are not tied with, me drinking or me eating or not eating. Okay, this is a dissonance. Now me not eating may be a symbol of my dissonance, but I'm talking about just an emotional harmonic frequency dissonance, and apart from, like you're being a little torn apart. It's freaking uncomfortable. That's why you take Valium. That's why you guys go on SRRIs or whatever those things. So it's why we all do drugs. It's why we're doing a drug, because we have this feeling we're trying to either accelerate or numb. And I'm saying to you, the dissidence is the gift. The dissidence, that discomfort, is the universe's way of keeping you back in alignment, trying to get you back into alignment on I am. You men out there are going to know this phrase. I'm not sure women really understand this phrase. I don't know why it would be different for women. However, the phrase of women is, for men is the men who live lives of desperate isolation or desperation. Sad, man. Now, why would someone be living a life of quiet desperation? Because they've buried I am so deep. They have compromised. I'm going to write that word down. I'd like you guys to also write the word compromise down. Dissidence and compromise. When I begin compromising what I know I want to do, when I begin compromising my belief system, my long-term belief system, not, hey, I want to get laid last night, which I don't really want to get laid. I really want to just have someone in my universe. And this is why I'm going to just this is all we're going to be talking about today is dissidence, compromise, and the circle of influence around you. The circle of influence around you. The circle of influence around you. Now, man, I might spend the rest of my life doing this. What I just said, I just had this realization. I'm like, my God, man, this is like really cool. Circle of influence. What it hit me was, whoa, I have to be really responsible now, because I know this stuff now. I know that I influence people to do things. I know that I influence people not to do things when I begin interfering with their lives, telling them what they should, could, or would do. Start judging and building their life, even if someone's asking. My answer should be, wow, tell me what it is you want. Like, I know what I want, Bob. But, and awesome question. Thank you for asking me, Bob. And I appreciate that you think I might know what's great for you. But you know what I know? I know that you know what's right for you. I have no clue. But I know that you're good at this, and this. And if that's what you enjoy doing, dude, like if that's your deal, that's what you should do. You should follow your dream, Bob, no matter where it takes you. Follow your dream no matter where it takes you. You know, if my daughter came to me, and I know if your daughter came to you or your son came to you and said, hey, I know exactly what I want to do in my life. I'm 8 years old. I know what I want to do. And you actually had the faith, the trust in the universe, you would do everything you possibly could to encourage him to follow his dream. You would, irrespective of what it takes and where it takes him, including, by the way, am I that parent that's going to hold on to this kid at 18 because I'm not ready to let go of him? I like him in my life. I've identified myself as a parent. I am an influencer. I know that I can influence people. I know that I have a circle of influence, and in my child's life, I most certainly am part of the circle of influence. Influence, by the way, influence, it's not even good or bad. I just don't know who she is, what her thing is, what she was put on. I don't know what my own purpose is. How could you possibly, in fact, how could I possibly ever believe I would know what my children or your children or you, for that matter, should do or supposed to do, why you're here to do? I don't know. But I know that if I don't know who I am, if I spend all my time chasing girls and chasing highs and chasing money, chasing acclamation from other people, chasing affirmations from other people, accolades, plastic trophies, badges, announcements in Reuters, news articles, spaces, invites, news articles, whatever, man. The ego is literally driving me into directions that have nothing to do with who I am. My ego. And what's the ego about? Well, the ego must be like, I don't think I would have a monster ego if there were no other people around. Does ego exist without other people? Does the ego exist in the way that I am better than you? That's the kind of ego that I'm talking about. Or the ego. See, as soon as I say, am I better than you? What I'm really doing is I must have figured out at one point, oh, wow, am I worse than you? There must have been a point in time when I looked around and went, Florida Bitcoin must be better than me. So who else can I'm going to go hang out with Lunch Money because I don't think he's better than me. I think he's kind of like even, or maybe I'm even a little bit above, but I can't go hang out with Florida Bitcoin because like he's well above me. Okay. So like now it's all a race and a competition, but in reality, I have lost my way because I am comparing myself against something else completely. I am comparing myself to another one of one. Am I an idiot? Are you an idiot to compare yourself to another one of one? Why would you want to do that? You're comparing yourself to the most unique thing on planet Earth. It would be like me comparing an elephant to an ant. No, actually, it's probably better an elephant to a plant. Both life forms, both doing something very, very different, both here for extremely different reasons, both of them necessary, I think necessary. They're here, so they must be necessary at the point. Just like maybe all my emotions are necessary, and the dissonance that comes with the emotions, it's really the dissonance that is my indicator. It's like, hey, have you ever been really hungry? Dissonance. What do you do when you're hungry? You go eat, man. You eat something if you're smart. Okay. Why do they tell you don't go grocery shopping on an empty stomach or when you're hungry? Because you're going to buy the whole damn store. The dissonance, I know no one likes this, okay? I hate it. I have it all the time. My whole life has been nothing but fucking dissonance. If I'm really honest, if I'm really, really honest, man, like I could not tell you what happiness is if my life depended on it. Seriously. I could not tell you what the word happiness is. This was empty. Okay, I know you can't see it, but it was empty. Now I got all kind of comments here. Um, 1,681 people are in this room right now. Okay, so we're building a community here, and there's 1,681, probably times 1,000 different mental constructs. 1,681 people all most certainly have dissonance. There isn't a person here that doesn't have something going on in their universe that's trying to. I think I think it's like it's. I really try to keep this in terms of me, so I don't like go judge other people. But I think I'm like a tuning fork. Okay, this is where, look, I'm just making this stuff up. Okay, so like I could be massively, massively wrong, but I'm quite certain that the universe, the world I live in, is not the way I perceive it. The world that I live in is not the way I perceive it. I'm most certain that I have this wrong, that I do not have the facts. Okay, if you don't have the facts, you probably got it wrong. Okay, the facts are the facts. There might be multiple levels and multiple verses or universes or multiverses, but at the end of the day, the universe I'm living in right now, as I understand it, I'm certain with zero dissonance. Funny enough. See, it's easier for me to know what I don't know than what I do know. It is easier for me, this is going to be a full day here, easier to know what's not true than what is true. Wow. Wow, that's heavy duty, dude. It is easier to know what is not than it is to know what is. And that is because of the dissonance, and we all run away from the dissonance, man. We all run away from the dissonance. I was watching one of my daughters the other day, and she's like, hey man, I got a lot of friends at school now. Like people really, she's got my personality. People really dig me. And 2 years ago, she was the loneliest kid in the world. Okay. Her dissonance was ripping her apart. She didn't know how to connect with people. She thought she was an outsider. She didn't think people liked her for whatever reason, man. For whatever, I don't know what she brought to the table. I don't know how much baggage I gave her, the wife gave her, then the collective dysfunctional husband and wife gave her, and then the good parts of us. But it is easier for me to know what is not true than what is true. And therefore, I think what I have to do is I have to go into the dark. I have to go through the doors of bullshit. And maybe writing down what those doors of bullshit are. Okay, doors of bullshit. I like that. Doors of bullshit. What are those doors? Okay, for me, okay, the big thing for me has been I need a companion. This has been a fucking massive trap for me. I got to tell you, okay, like now, as I get older, I could not have said this to anyone 20 years ago because I was constantly looking for that Miss Perfect woman, which I have never found. I just have not. And maybe I ran into him when I was really young, but I was not ready. I've almost resigned myself. Shall I say this? I've almost resigned myself to be alone for the rest of my life on this planet. I mean, when I say the rest of my life, I actually really, 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 really believe, have tremendous faith that I am not a one life organism. Okay, I'm something much bigger than a one life organism. I think all of you guys are, but I most certainly refuse to accept that I am an entity that ceases to exist at 96 years old, April the 13th. April 13th, when I'm 96, that's the day I die. I made a decision about it. Well, I didn't make a decision, but I had a vision. I don't know how, quite frankly, I don't know how I will live to 96 because uh, the gravity of being on this planet, I find to be heavy, heavy to my body, very heavy to my body. I don't know if anybody understands that, but I find it to be pretty heavy. So the doors of bullshit for me is, oh, hey, listen, when I find that girl, we can snuggle up in bed every night and watch the same movies and read the same books, and I won't lose myself this time, I promise, because she'll be the right girl. Well, wow, man. I think just a little while ago, I said that 99.9% of everybody on this space has a lot of dissonance. I didn't say a lot of dissonance, but I'm going to say it now. Let's say that none of you have any, that you're complete. Well, I'm not. I may be one of one. I may know that I'm one of one, but doesn't mean that I don't have dissonance. Okay, doesn't mean that I don't have pain. I mean, a man asked me to help him the other day on a court case. I have so many people asking me to help them do things that I can't. I mean, I could, but one, it's none of my business. Two, it's not my expertise. Three, I can't save everyone. In fact, I can save no one. I can barely save myself, man. If I were to die today, I have to admit that I have not lived an optimal life. And what is optimal? What have I made have I optimized? Have I efficiently used the resources that I was given as an entity on this planet for the 96 years I'm going to be here? Have I actually used any of this shit? Like, really used it? For instance, what if I had a really large weapon, like a 50 caliber weapon? Why would I use a 50 caliber weapon on a squirrel? I think my whole life I have literally been going around. I'm a 50 cal, and I'm shooting squirrels, blowing shit up. Can't even eat it because it's all gone. Do you understand the analogy? I mean, the analogy might be bad, but I'm like a nuclear furnace, a very complex computer system. That's actually a great analogy. Okay, I am this unbelievable computer program. All I need is water, some fuel, and life experiences. Like I'm just an AI product, right? I am learning. Hey, that's an awesome affirmation. Okay, I am learning every day. Now be careful with it. Okay, when you say I am learning every day, hey, the world has a way of like answering these prayers. I am is a prayer, folks. Like I don't use a lot of religious terminology here at all. I don't want to. I don't think it's necessary. Just like I don't think it's necessary to have to use cryptography data and deep economic information to talk to somebody about a financial product like Bitcoin. Like it does not have to get overly complicated. We should all keep this simple and make it simple. So the reason I'm really bouncing around this thing, the conversation I'm having, probably because it's a bit of a difficult conversation. I think I'm going to probably get some grief, but so I want to go back to the doors of bullshit in my life. The doors of bullshit. So this companion thing, and I'm going to write it down as companion, okay? Because the truth is, let's say a wife cheated on her husband, or some guy, is a serial dater, or some girl was in a marriage and it ended, and she goes out for for 2 years, and she becomes a bit of a promiscuous human being. Guy wants to get laid one night, guy goes to the strip club, girl goes to the strip club, whatever. You make it as bad as you want or as good as you want, or as a 16-year-old wants to go out with the boy that's 18, at the school. They got their hormones going just like you and I do. But what is really happening here is companionship. You can box it up and then go, okay, well, the lady that wanted to get married got married. She wasn't perfect, but she got married anyway. Hey, looking for companionship. I got to tell you guys, okay, I do not think getting married to someone and staying married to someone that's not right for you, like literally, it is not allowing you to be the God that you were meant to be. I don't think that's any different level of prostitution than going out on a one night stand and charging somebody $200, or somebody paying $200 or $2,000. So it's all about them trying to solve, I think, at least for me, and that's why I'm so disappointed usually, unless it's extremely honest, because I'm looking for companionship. And what am I looking for in companionship? Hey, you 16, 17, 18, 22, 28-year-olds, anybody before the age of 30, if you're in this room, dude, please listen to me. I wish somebody had told me this, okay? Your brain does not stop forming until you're 27. Pretty sure I wouldn't get involved with another human being whose brain hasn't fully matured. Might want to think about that one. Do you really, like, we're talking about deep understanding of self, okay? You're one of one, and we walk around trying to understand everyone else. We walk around criticizing other people, and we have no clue who we are. So this criticism thing, by the way, I need you to write the word criticism down, because criticism, might write a book one day. Criticism, I need somebody to help me write a book, actually. But criticism, what I need somebody to do, and I'll hire someone, is someone, whether they know anything about AI or not, they're willing to study AI, work for me, and use AI for everything I do. Literally turn my entire operation into AI. I don't want to do it. I want to do this. So when I'm critical, I'm doing this to my dissonance. Actually, I'm doing this to my dissonance. I'm going, hey, you have a problem. Okay. I'm thinking of a particular person right now that's been irritating the absolute shit out of me online, on some of these spaces. The arrogance, the lopsided approach. Very intelligent human being, but man, the agenda is just so, he's manipulating people. And I am so irritated with this cat. In fact, my brother called me up one day. He said, hey, who is this cat? So he's got the same irritation on him. But it must be bringing up something about me, man. Do I manipulate people? Have I? Maybe I have, and that's why I can see it. I do not believe I do that today. I really believe I go into these conversations, and I think the more I do this without an ego, not that there's no ego here, but I am really coming into these rooms. And this is why I'm not inviting anybody else to speak, because I can't be responsible for anyone else. I can only be responsible for what I'm saying here and for where this is going to go. So I just decided, I allowed a few people to pop up from time to time, but I just decided, okay, look, this is a communication. This is kind of like, let's go through a topic and let's not get off topic, which is already easy enough for me to do. So the criticism is showing me where I need to look, okay? it's showing me where I need to look. So if you're being critical, one, know, hey, that's a blessing, man. Okay. That's why these people are coming into your life, to teach you some lessons, for you to maybe get the dissonance, so that, if a guitar is out of tune. Now, I'm not a musician. I wish I would have had the discipline when I was a kid just to do 2 or 3 years, and then I would have understood the basics. But, when a guitar is out of tune, it needs to be retuned. When I'm out of tune, when my tuning fork is off, I'm off. So companionship, two halves do not make a whole. Two entities that know they don't know, that's a great start. Hey, I know I don't know. As soon as we start talking about people, and I don't know why it's taking me so bloody long to get here. I knew 45 minutes ago what I exactly wanted to do. And really where I'm going to is the sphere of influence of people around you is something that has to be addressed. It has to be addressed, okay? 80% of the people that try to do this I am thing are just going to stop doing it. It's a lot of work. It's extremely simple, but it is a lot of work. And the lot of work is you're waking up, man. You're waking up. I am waking up, and the more I wake up, the more dissonance I have, and that's a little weird. Okay, so for you folks, look, there's a number of different issues here. If you're going to take this process serious, and you can go get an MBA all you want. You can have 10,000 Bitcoin. You can be, you can own airplanes. You can say you're building an empire. You're broke, whatever. But until you know, there's only one way to get comfortable with self, and that is to get comfortable with self. And I don't think it's a group activity. I think this is a self activity, and we spend no time before 27, 28 years old to do that. And by the time we're 27, 28 and we can read and study and we're disciplined, many people have already gotten involved with someone else who is also not fully I am. And you wonder why there's terms like, lives of quiet desperation. And that's why people like to stay unawake. That's why people like to hit the bottle. That's why people do what they do, because being awake is scary, man. Scary. It's confusing, and it's left with endless questions. I must say, endless questions. My criticism shows me that I have some dissonance. My dissonance will show me who I truly am. It is my guitar that's out of tune. Okay, that's the dissonance. So when I have dissonance, when a guitar is out of tune, I do not judge the guitar. When the piano is out of tune, I do not judge the piano and go, what a piece of shit. That $14,000 piano is junk. It's out of tune, man. It hasn't been taken care of. You didn't maintain it. A one of one? You're going to take a Mona Lisa and stick it in the garage? You're going to take a Pablo Picasso and a fucking original and stick it in the garage? In the basement where it's wet? Out in the sun? Go ahead, man. Just burn it up. You would never, ever treat a one of one that way. Ever. But we do it every day to ourselves, and we do it every day to everybody else. Almost everyone, okay? And it's through the criticism, the lack of harmony, the pre-intentioned, I don't like you, so I just don't like the way you talk, so I'm just not even going to listen to you. This is the kind of stuff that These are all indicators, okay? And you can look around the world and go, wow, man, the whole world is literally pointing their fingers. And if I'm pointing my fingers all the time, I cannot possibly figure out who the heck I am. Okay. So the hard part of this is I'm 18, I'm alone, stay alone. Stay alone, leave your house, leave your zip code. I'd get at least 30 zip codes away. I'd get 2 hours away from home. I actually get 4 to 6 hours away from home by car. Like, I don't want to be that close. I don't think it's good to be that close. You need to get away, dude. Just because Frank and Mary had a baby in Missouri does not mean that baby was designed to stay in Missouri for the rest of their freaking lives, man. Two aliens come together, they copulate, then they have a baby. Baby doesn't belong to these two people, dude. This is a creation. We're holding on to these people, okay? Mommy is now, hey, I am a mom. Well, if you don't have an identity beyond being a mom, guess what you're going to do? You're going to stay being a mom. Then either the 18, 20, 26-year-old never leaves house and therefore never actually grows up. You should have kicked that little bitch right out the door at 18 and said, go live your life, man. Just like a bird takes their bird, knocks them out of the nest, fly, dude. Fly, fly, fly. How can we fly if we're being trapped by someone who wants to be a mother? Her entire identity is I am mom. No, you're not. You're married, dude. You're Mary Smith, one of one. I am not a billionaire. I am not a businessman. I am not a Bitcoin. I am me, man. Okay, I'm a lot more than one little thing. I'm not just an artist or a communicator or whatever you want to make of it, right? So what do I have to do? I'm in a relationship. I've got a family. I'm starting to discover who I am. First thing I do, I know you're going to want to, but this is not something you share with other people. This is not a journey for your wife, okay? This is not a journey for your children, your boss. In fact, you won't even need your shrink anymore if you do this. You will not need a shrink. I have been to, I don't know, 20 shrinks, psychologists. I've known probably intimately 3 or 4 extremely well-known shrinks and friends with 2 or 3 of them. Good friends. I mean, like, I like them, but they're crazy. These people are not all of them, okay, but like the vast majority of them have spent so much time talking about who other people are, they don't do their own deal. This is a journey, okay? You can't escape the journey. You can avoid the journey if you want, and most people do. Or you can embrace the dissonance and go, hey, look, this dissonance is just too uncomfortable. I have to look at this. So we start with I am, okay? And if I've lost you somewhere, I want you to write down, if I've lost you in this conversation with dissonance and criticism and all that, I want you to write down, I am aware. I try not to give anybody hints on what their I ams are, but like you saying I am aware is really cool. If we all said 2,500 people right now, I am aware. Let's say it. I am aware. Okay. I am conscious. There's a good one. I am conscious. You start actually going, hey, what does that mean, man? What does the word conscious mean? We're probably going to have a session on that, actually. I am aware. I am conscious. I am brilliant. You can say that to yourself, dude. There's no way you're not brilliant. I don't care if you have an IQ of 92. That's bullshit, okay? First off, if you have an IQ of 92, and you have just a little bit of anger, and a little bit of like, hey, I want to prove something. Um, AI is your IQ, man. I don't know why you wouldn't. I would stick my nose in that son of a bitch so hard. It's like a guy with no weapons finding himself transported in the middle of a freaking military conflict. Um, and he's not. If he shows up with the right weapons, dude, like it doesn't matter what his IQ is. He just needs the right tools. Okay, so AI now is a tool that can add 20, 30 IQ points. Look, I just looked up the word dissonance, right? So um, these tools are there. They're not expensive. Anyone can have them. So I would grab them. My point is, I am not my IQ. I am me. Okay. I trust. I am trustworthy and I trust. Okay. These are affirmations. These are I am, man. I am trustworthy. I would encourage everyone to say that. I am trustworthy. Oh, wow. How could that possibly be a bad thing to say to yourself? Now, there's no need for you to go to your kid and start jamming your shit on your kid. 8 years old, 18. Hey, we're doing I ams today. Okay. This is a solo journey, man. This is not, they're not going to understand your I am because they're looking at it from their I am. And they may not have the same dissonance you have. They may not be ready. Most of the people you're going to meet are not ready to wake up. I'm sorry. That's just the way this is. It's a lot of work. Okay. It requires discipline and vigilance and more discipline. And even then, I don't think it ever gets right. The deal is, do I show up? See, I figured out, I don't know, I figured out about some time ago, quite frankly, that it was really important for me when I did the, hey, I am honest and I am trustworthy, that I'm not a billboard or an advertisement representing one thing, but I'm really something different. That's not cool. See, once I start doing the I am, you start doing, well, what are my principles? What do I believe in? Is there, some dishonesty and it's okay, or is some type of manipulation okay? Is there good clickbait, but there's bad clickbait? Is there lying? You start asking yourself these questions. This is it will be for sure the most important study that I have ever done in my life. And I've spent years studying Bitcoin. I spent 25 years studying energy. I will spend a lifetime learning who I am. There's never been one like me. There's never been one like you. Okay. And all we look at is, oh wow, man, I have this dissonance. I'm inferior. I'm flawed. I go to a psychologist. I read these books. What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? I'm angry. I'm critical. I can't stay in a relationship. When I get in a relationship, all I'm doing is like, get me the fuck out of this relationship. If I've never spent any time devoted to learning about self, I will only ever, if even that, I will only ever judge others. I will only compare others with self or self with others. And I will always feel either superior or inferior, but never a companion, never a partner, always above or below, scared. Okay. I am finite, one of one, in an infinite universe. I am much, much, much bigger than my physical presence. I'm much bigger than my hair, my fingers, my arms. And when I start saying I am that, I start going, well, what am I then? See, my arm isn't really communicating here. My lips may be moving, but you guys understand, I do not create a script here. Like this is just flowing through me. I'm not trying to manage anything. I'm literally just going through a process of how do I discover self? I think I discover self by myself. I think it becomes extremely challenging to do it in a group. And most certainly, it becomes near impossible to do in a group that I have responsibility for, in a society where I am judged to do certain things, may even have legal obligations, a society where I am taught from birth what is acceptable in society, what gets cuddles and strokes, and what gets alone time and discipline and punishment. What other people do, I'm watching as a child. Can we agree that 99% of the people in this space, and I would actually say 100 because it includes me, are fumbling through knowing who they are today? And most of the people here are above the age of 18. So whatever we've been doing has diluted, mutated, bastardized my one of oneness, my uniqueness, my ability to really embrace and share that uniqueness with you. But there's just no way I just showed up to do nothing or to do little even. Now, this is the challenge, okay? Because when I say that, I'm like, well, what am I doing? I'm not really doing anything. A couple thousand people, big deal. And then I start thinking about the future. Well, I have to do this for the rest of my life to make any impact. No, I don't. I have to be right here, right now, man. I have to be right here, right now. All that matters is what I'm doing right now. I do not need to go, well, did this turn out anything? Did it have a number to it? Did I help 1 billion people and somebody wrote about it one day? Or see, the ego just gets so jacked. Hey, can I write a book on this? Can I become famous? This happens to me, man. Now, I most certainly could become famous doing this. If I wanted to, if it was my goal to be, which by the way, should be an indicator to every one of you guys that you think you can't make a living in the future world. I am running out of space to write down the ideas I have that you could create. And this is one of them right here. Okay. Somebody is going to make a decision. I am going to be one of the most famous church goers on social media, church providers or truth seekers or truth tellers. And they'll make a good living. They'll become famous, whether they're happy or not. I don't know. Okay. But there's so many different, if you have the ability, I keep meeting people, I've started dating just, not recently, but I've started running into different women and just listening to their lives and individuals, men, and not that I date men, but and they're all saying the same thing, like, hey, I really don't know what I should be doing in the future. I have no skills. And it's like, man, like you're attractive, you speak well, read a book, start studying any subject that you're interested in, and stick your nose into a camera here. Like, people will come. There's 8 billion people. So Um, I never thought I would be doing this, but the tool's here. And once the tool was here, I was like, hey, wow, maybe I actually have an obligation to do this because I have some gifts. I have some gifts. Okay. So once you know you have some gifts, see, that's the beauty of you discovering what your bloody gifts are. I was with a friend of mine the other day, and she is the aunt of a 5 and an 8-year-old, and these two boys are like, they lost their dad, and I said, I would go to like a old bookstore and buy a bunch of used hardback books, um, and make the kids start reading 1 hour a day. And she was like, well, what kind of books? Because she's probably thinking economic books. And I'm like, no, there's all these cool novels that have been written just for teenagers, right? Just for young boys. I remember reading the Harvey books and the Nancy Drew books, and children should read, man. The whole family should read. I mean, there should be just like, hey, we on Saturdays we have an hour and a half where we read in the afternoon. As a group, right? Everybody gets a book. Hey, what's your book for the week? Do that. Hey, get these kids small books, okay? Books that are interesting. Don't get them your bullshit books. Get them the books they're interested in. Go to the library. Like, the library is a cool place, man. Go to a bookstore, and you see where the kids go, and like, oh wow, I didn't know they were interested in that shit. I know nothing about my children. Let's be honest. I'm a freaking great father, okay? No, zero doubt that I'm a great father. I mean, I go through doubt, but I am a great dad. And I'm telling you, I don't know anything about my children. I don't really know what their dreams are. I don't really know what they think of me, really, they've watched every inconsistency I have ever showed, right? Every broken promise. I mean, my daughter, 18-year-old daughter, she does this to me, and that's her reminder that I broke a pinky promise with her. And I've lost some faith from her because of that breaking the promise. But the point is, if my kid comes to me and says, hey, I'm going to start doing the I am with you, the best thing I can do is say, hey, why don't you do it by yourself, sweetie? Why don't you do it with someone else? Not dad. Don't do it with dad. Okay? Do it by yourself. This is your own journey. This is not my journey. It's her journey. Okay? I have my own journey to bloody worry about. Can barely keep up with. Which brings me to this. What I'm going to do here, if I can get the light right. Let's see, can you guys see this? So this is I am. Okay, this is my center, and then I find out. Okay, I've got family here. I've got a girlfriend here. I've got bosses here. Okay, I have to start figuring out one. Okay, just because. I'm really sorry. This is horrible light, but just imagine, okay, you're here at the core and you've got all these interconnecting pieces. Okay, you've got your relationship with your girlfriend. You've got a relationship with the ex-wife. You've got a relationship with your boss. You've got a relationship with your old friend that you started when you were 6 years old. Your mommy still loves you and she wants you to do good. These are not people that you go start sharing I am with, okay? You got 3,000 people in here. 1,500 won't do it. At least maybe 2,500 won't do it. 500 will do it. You guys got to find each other, okay? Just keep coming back here and go, look, it doesn't matter if you're enjoying doing this or not. You're here for a reason. So I'm pretty sure you're supposed to be here. For those of you that can actually get past the ego and realize you know nothing, realize you know nothing. Now that's a statement I'm going to make. Part of me is like, Gary, don't be like another professor or some ass. I know nothing. I cannot with great certainty, absolute certainty, tell you with perfection anything about anything. Really, and maybe this is where my ego is starting to break down, and I'm starting to be able to go, wow, man, why do I think I'm relevant, right? I mean, I am relevant, but I'm not relevant. I'm only relevant if I freaking shine. I'm only relevant if I'm finely tuned and I'm at the frequency, if my tuning fork is actually generating at the frequency that I am. So I got to figure out my frequency. So let's say that we got the I am here, and we got, mom and dad's agendas, and mom and dad's all friends and their social stuff. And oh, wow, we went to Cambridge, or we went to Oxford, or we went to Harvard. And that's a whole group of people that are influencing you. And they're influencing you because you have not figured out who the hell you are. People that influence me to do something maybe that I don't want to do, or influence me to do something that influence me not to be 100% me. Maybe there's some social pressure of doing that. Most certainly, you will be a one-of-one. See, it does come with some expense, right? Because most people are not willing to do the one-on-one. They have no intention, no interest to doing one-on-one. Okay, this actually brings me to this dissonance thing, back to the dissonance thing, and then also to the word conscious. I asked Grok the other day, hey, Grok, what do you think the percentage of conscious people are on planet Earth, assuming that conscious means to be able, willing, and asking questions about even the very questions that are asked. Most certainly challenging answers to questions that have been posed for thousands of years that we've assumed have an answer, but in fact have no proven substance or data or facts or evidence behind that thesis. So I am conscious. Okay. And Grok said that maybe top 30% of the planet was conscious. I then did a survey on X, and the number comes out to be, I did not influence this because I didn't say anything, but people were coming up with 2 and 3% numbers. Imagine if 70%, that's Grok's number, max number, 70% of the population is conscious. No, excuse me, 70% of the population is unconscious. How can you possibly share 7 out of 10 people, and you're probably never even going to meet the other 2 because you're one of them. You're one of the 3. If that, by the way, I think it's 1 out of 10. If I'm right, 9 out of 10 people that you hang out with don't want you to be I am. I'm going to grab a cup of coffee. I want you to think about that, okay? I want you to, in fact, list down the people in your universe. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to give you a minute. I want you to write down all the people in your universe that can fully have your I am, no matter what it is. You come up with tomorrow, hey, you know what? I'm supposed to live in Australia and be a dentist, and I'm in Louisiana, and I'm going to follow my dream. That's kind of, really, you get that kind of support? Because the kind of support I'm talking about is, I fall in love with this woman. I've got to have this woman. I think she is the mutts and nuts. I propose to her, and she looks at me and says, dude, I like you, but I don't want to get married to you. I don't want to spend the rest of my life with you. I have something else to do. I would have zero problem with that, man. Like zero problem. That's the answer I actually want. I want another person to go, oh man, you're cool, dude, but not for a lifetime. Well, why do we feel guilty about that? We meet someone and expect I've got to have a lifetime with them. No, I have to have a lifetime with me. And I haven't even spent 10 minutes with me. And I'm already preparing to spend 100 fucking years with somebody I don't even know. I may just need to be alone. This is why I'm really, really, really 1000% convinced that every 18-year-old kid, 17, should leave their zip code at least 10 zip codes behind, man. 5 hours behind, 6 hours. You got to get on a plane to go see your family again. Get away from everyone, because you don't need more gravity. You understand? You don't need more gravity. You need less gravity. So I want you to write down, got it? I'm conscious. I'm aware. I'm conscious. I'm aware. And start asking yourself, how many conscious people are around you right now? I have a more challenging question to ask you, but I don't think it's the right way to go about it. I want you to, I am authentic. I am conscious. I am authentic. I am conscious. I am aware. Now write down a list of people that you believe in your universe, okay, are aware and conscious and authentic. Write it down. See, maybe one day when I get my church with my airplane and my Bentleys, I'll have I won't have to step away from this because I'll have some beautiful nun bringing me coffee. And this is the hard part, guys. Okay, I don't pretend like this is going to be an easy conversation. But the circle around you, you have to take inventory of the circle around you. You just got to take the inventory. If there are people in my universe, whether they be my mother, my father, my brother's wife, my brother's ex-wife, my brother's friends, the business, my partners, my investments, my neighbors, my girlfriends, my wannabe girlfriends, my dates, my one-night stands, whatever I'm doing, the people in my universe, okay, I'm an extremely non-judgmental person on what people do with their personal lives. I don't think it's any of my business. But when you start going through this I am conscious thing, you're elevating yourself into a different game now. Okay, this is a very, very different game played by very, very few people. The most accomplished people in the world will not play this game. If you're an egotistical, narcissistic, psychopath, you can't even answer these questions. Okay, so, and there's a lot of people that can't answer these questions, won't even start. They won't start. They may pretend to start. And this is going to be the part of the conversation that many people won't like, but unless you take an inventory of the people around you, look, you're doing your own inner I am inventory, right? You're discovering who you are. First, do not share your gifts with anyone. Do not share your gifts with anyone. No one is going to validate them the way you need them validated. You just got to keep moving through this thing. See, this is the piece that I am very good at. Oh, see, I just did it. I am very good at communicating. But like I play this little trick. I'm telling you not to share it with anyone. You can share it with me. I'm cool. Smash me DMs. Tell me what you're doing. Do not share what you're discovering with your community, your social unit, your husband, your wife. Don't do it. There's more downside than there is upside. In fact, there isn't a zero upside. It's like me going to a movie, coming home to the girl and going, hey, I got to tell you about this one scene, man. I got to just tell you. And, you butcher it. And then they look at you and go, oh, it sounds cool. No. It was awesome. It was much better than that. No one is going to validate what you need, how you need it, when you need it, about what you are, because they can't get it. They don't even know who they are, man. And it's okay that they don't know who they are. You just need to know, okay, inventory. I got a box of people over here that are fucking unconscious, man. I have a couple of people here that are trying to be. Guess what? Trying to be and unconscious, don't share it with any of them. Your children, don't share it with your children. They have enough of their own stuff, man. Now, that doesn't mean that you're hiding. You could simply say, hey, I'm starting to read every afternoon Saturdays, and I'd love the family to join me. If not, oh, what are you reading? And then they see you're starting to write in the morning. And this is just a solo journey. It's not a journey you're going to do holding hands with anyone. That's all I'm trying to say, okay? This is not a journey that your shrink is going to be able to validate, or your teacher or your boss. Don't share this shit with your boss. He don't want to hear it. He's got a job to do, and it's not you discovering who you are. You discovering who you are is what a boss does not want, including me, by the way. If you're working for me and you're going through this, I'm like, oh, shit, man. I might lose a damn good employee. Funny, huh? Like, I'm literally telling you to do it, but if you're working for me and I see you doing this, I'm like, this cat could become really radical any moment. What does radical mean? Not serving my mission is what it means. You see what happens? I'm fairly like, if I died this afternoon, I'm pretty sure that I'm not the lowest guy on the rung as far as consciousness is. And I'm probably not even close to full consciousness, but I'm probably 1,000 miles away, but I'm most certainly not at zero. Having said that, it has shocked me to read comments and get emails from people on this show right now listening at the response. Okay, so people most certainly, and this is the reason I'm doing this, because I'm like, wow, the equipment's here to do it. Don't know of any other churches on Sunday that have 3,300 people in them. Probably pretty energy efficient. And it's secular. I think that's the right word. We're not excluding anyone. This could be a cool deal, right? Everybody can come. You don't even have to know religious words to show up here. You didn't have to read the Bible. or the Quran or whatever it is your tea of the month. I've known many, many, many religious people, and none of them knew who they were. None. No, no I ams. Nope. No I ams. This could be an awakening moment for the world. It really, really, really could be. This could be. I think actually we're at the very precipice. We're at a turning point of possibly an explosion of consciousness. If more people do what I'm doing here, and again, I'm not like, there's no brilliance to this. I'm not making any proclamations that are outlandish, not predictions. But if now that we have this technology, I know there's enough people out there who have some semblance of what's right and what's wrong. Look, I got here because of the dissonance. I got to my place in this world, however you would define me. I mean, I would define myself. This is how I would define myself. Okay, this is how Gary sees himself, and maybe this is true for others. Okay, but like I see myself as tough guy, hard worker. I'm just going through my whole life, isolated, lonely, wealthy, successful, grinder, fighter. I mean, I've been fighting my whole life. In fact, I'll say the most I am, when I am the most of me, it is when I am in a great fight. It's when I've gotten clocked, or I just think there's this gross injustice. And that's why my career actually has been fighting big monopolies. My entire career has been fighting what I consider to be one of the most heinous crimes and lies in America, which is, we have a free market, and we don't have a free market. We haven't had a free market since I've been alive. We have a completely controlled, monopolistic type market where there's very little truth. And when there's no competition, there's like the truth just goes away. But I've been very alive fighting those battles, but it hasn't helped me become I am. It hasn't, it's, I have to be a little angry to do that. Most certainly don't share this with your customers and your partners in business, okay? And why is because of the same reason I said, oh, wow, if Bob starts studying himself really hard, if I'm his employer, I become a little nervous because I know that he becomes, I was going to use the word irrational, but he is becoming, that is the word I would use. He's becoming irrational to my motives and my agenda and my goal. Like, hey, Gary, I'm going to go study myself. I'm going to go to India for 5 years and, study with the mystics. It's like, dude, I think that'd be awesome. I think that would take more courage than making $10 million or 100. Really, I think it would. It's always frightened me. Hey, go now. It would be awesome for me. It would be awesome for me. It makes me think. Okay, while you're doing this, I would write things down like I am. Okay, it's going to be easy for a lot of people. I am a leader. You want to say that, but I am a good student. Okay, I learn rapidly. I can assimilate information. Right, I am a good student. Like I am me. I am a good student. Why do I want to be a good student? Well, I need to be a good student to learn about this complex one of one, never been here before. If it's a one of one, never been here before, maybe I need to do some research. So while you guys are deep diving into how to do windsurfing and play basketball or knitting or building your next AI machine, if you simply spend an equal amount of time investigating the very thing you are, one of one, dude. I mean, a one of one. One of one is cat daddy shit. And we treat it like it's cat manure. Cat daddy shit. That's what I'm talking about, dude. Not litter. This is the mutt's nuts, okay? The bee's knees. I mean, this is the thing. You know, one of the most interesting things, and I do think that we may be in a period of enlightenment. Uh, you know, when you see Tucker Carlson, talking about spiritual dimensions, and we're moving into a different time, dude. Like, we've not had these kind of conversations in mainstream media before. I am me. I am one of one. I am a freaking miracle, dude. I am an absolute miracle. And I'm literally spending all my time trying to be as vanilla as possible. Quiet little mouse. Don't disturb anyone. Make sure you don't stand out. Make sure you look and sound like everyone else, and keep your trap shut. And you wonder why everybody's living in 1,500 square feet, miserable, taking drugs all day long. Once I start doing this journey will require me to dislocate and jettison certain. Look, if I do the inventory, there's either assets or liabilities. You're either an asset in my life or you're a liability. There's very few neutrals. I don't believe in neutrals. I believe you're either on the left or you're on the right. You're either right or wrong. You're either supporting me fully or you're not supporting me fully. If you are not fully conscious, which most are not, this is going to be a lonely journey. And it's just the only way to get there, okay? This is not a group exercise. It's a solo exercise. And therefore, know that when you start doing this, the people around you are going to start showing up a little differently, okay? You're going to start noticing a lot of inconsistencies. With dissonance, there is massive inconsistency. I can go on. Well, I'm not gonna share that. I am. For instance, one thing I've said to myself for many years is I am highly instinctive. Now, I don't know why I have always said that to myself. When I first started doing this, I'm like, instincts are something that's really special to me. It's I don't really hear people talk about it, but I always had this sixth sense, man. This awareness of it's not the right thing. I haven't always listened to it, but I've had this sixth sense, and I've very rarely spoken to anyone about it because it's a little crazy. But this sixth sense of mine, because I think it's there. One, I knew it was there as a gift, and then I said I am highly intuitive. Then I went, I am highly intuitive, and I trust my intuition. When I started doing that, man, things really started getting jacked up. But once you start saying, hey, I am aware, you are going to become aware of a lot of things that don't really make sense, inconsistencies, okay? Uh, Things that people say and then they do, and they are freaking different things. Okay? The doingness and the stating what they're doing becomes very different. It is disturbing, I must say. Actually, I've had to learn how to just shield myself from getting either angry or deeply sad about it. But I see people making comments. Social media is so interesting because I today now see people making comments and they're making comments that are literally juxtaposed to the way they live their lives. I don't even think they see it. I don't even think these people see it. I think they're so unconscious. So driven on their own egotistical motive for being around for what they're doing that they can't see the inconsistency. But when you become aware, you start to see the inconsistency. So that's the first thing. Okay, first thing is you get around the circle. You have to identify in this circle. Okay, who is safe and who is not? Who is conscious and who is not? Who wants you to be small? How many people do you know? Just don't think about yourself, but think about other people. If their husband went to them or their wife went to them and said, "Hey, look, this. I've been married." You know where I'm going with this, right? Like if somebody comes to you and says, "Look, I'm not following my dream. I need to." Wouldn't it be beautiful to be able to just let them go and not have any? Oh, dude, I want the best for you, man. Okay. I mean, I know it'll hurt and everything, but I don't want to trap anyone. I've never, ever wanted to trap anyone. It's awesome that someone wants to hang out with me forever and ever, but I've never wanted to trap someone. I don't want someone to stay because they're obligated. And I most certainly don't want someone to stay because they're being small. You should be moving, man. Your life should be changing. Your influences should get bigger, smaller, different. This period in my life has brought me to a place where I finally um, gotten to a point where I could just be with myself and not get rushed into doing something that would just simply be a distraction to a more important goal, which is, wow, I am one of one, and I've spent so little time mastering me. And you are one of one, okay? Like, do not look at me and say, oh, wow, he's a Cardone, man. He's got something special. I had a mother that kicked my ass. I am so grateful that I had good parents. I mean, I am so grateful. They weren't perfect, man. Okay, but I am so grateful. The only reason I'm doing this today is because of my mother, I think, and my father. Really. Like I cannot even describe why or how the hell I got here. Why I was interested in looking at my life when I was 25. I mean, I was so miserable, it was unbelievable. And how every big problem in my life has led to a blessing of some sort if I was willing to take responsibility in looking at what happened. What happened in that event that just didn't go right? And look, folks, I have had a ton of cool things happen. I could easily disappear in my success. It would be a total lie for me to do that, though. Okay. Have I been successful? Well, I don't know. I mean, I haven't changed millions of people. I made a bunch of money. Okay. Been married 3 times. I've met some really, really cool people. Hopefully, I've helped more people than I've harmed. I think I have. And today, my intentions and my motivations are clearer than they've ever been. I think. See, I keep asking myself, are you sure that, or is the dissonance is my indicator that I need to go that way, okay? Like fear, fear is just not real, man. Fear is real, actually. I'm gonna say that very different. Fear is real. You should embrace it and go into it, because every time I go into it, it's not nearly the problem that I made it out to be. Ever, 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 ever. I also need to think more and talk less. I need to create more here. I am beginning. I actually thought of this 2 seconds ago, and I said, I'm not going to share that, but I am becoming so masterful at this. It's unbelievable. Okay. I can pick up things with people today that I was not capable of doing 2 or 3 years ago. I knew that I had the capacity, but I didn't really fully embrace it. And now the more I am saying things like I am highly instinctual, every time I've ever said that to myself, I get a chill up my spine, man, right here. I mean, seriously. I get a chill up my spine. In fact, I just thought when I said that that phrase is actually getting ready to change. I am highly intuitive to with extreme certainty. I'm beginning to sense outcomes, man. I mean, I know that. I'm being very careful here. Somebody will start laughing at me, but the treasure is sitting inside of you. It's not outside of you. And no one is going to discover that treasure other than you. And if it's not discovered by you, it's left for an entire infinity, man, to be undiscovered. And that's not cool. So this is going to be a challenging week for most of you if you do this exercise, because you're going to identify people that aren't in alignment with your frequency. It does not mean that you need to shun them, hurt them, harm them, reject them, tell them, do nothing. Doing nothing right now is really, really awesome. Do nothing but write. Keep your mouth shut. If you need to share it with someone, share it with your diary. Get a book that is devoted to you. And nobody else. There's no Bitcoin data in here. There's no financial data in here. There's simply Gary writing what he's discovering. Okay. For instance, it'll be nice for me to remember this church started on 11/3/2024. We've done every Sunday since November 3rd, bar one. That was in Washington. Felt terrible about that, by the way. And there's now 3,700 people in the room. We keep coming back. You guys can take this. It's recorded. Send it to a friend. I would love to see family members in here, okay? See, imagine the power of this conversation with husband, wife, and kids, and everybody's making their own notes, and nobody's looking around trying to control what anyone does or doesn't do. Now, all of a sudden, mom and dad aren't helping Bobby with his I am. I'm actually helping your Bobby with I am. And he's doing it as, hey, I am speaking to Bobby. See, like everybody has their own, oh, wow, he's talking to me, man. Yes, I am talking to you, Bobby. Okay. And every Bobby out there. Like, one of one doesn't come around ever. One of one doesn't come around ever. And you're only here for 60, 50, 100 years. It's most certainly worth my effort to have a guy like Aiden, bigger, more unique than he is, okay? more comfortable in who he is. Look, me being uncomfortable and being able to acknowledge my discomfort actually makes me more me. Like I'm having to carry less shit around. And I have yet to see anybody really dislike me for it. The only people that are going to dislike me for this are the people that are narcissists and they're incapable of actually looking at themselves. So they only look at other people and they only criticize. This is a big deal for X. This is a big deal for social media. If it is not careful, and if you are not careful, you're going to turn social media into mainstream media, which figured out a long time ago that you, like a rat, will respond to drama, criticism, and negativity much more rapidly and with a lot more volume than you will to sanity, like what you're learning here. If I was I could literally turn this into a 30,000 person show if I brought up Israel, Palestine, killing people, war, inflation, all the bad guys, I'm not doing that, okay? The world is totally fucked up for one reason, and the reason is we lost ourselves somewhere along the way. And we never took the time to discover ourselves. So we're all going to do a couple of things this week. We're going to draw lines of, hey, who am I interacting with as a tuning fork that is inconsistent with my frequency? It does not mean you need to do anything, okay? You're not divorcing anyone. You're not kicking anyone out of your house. Do not do anything. That is a major, major mistake, okay? If you're in dissonance right now, you can be in dissonance for another week. Just slow down, look around, and then start, there'll be people that you can easily pull away from. You go, yeah, I don't need to listen to that guy on Spaces anymore. There are people, cut them, dude. Mute, 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 mute. If there isn't an agenda that has some kind of like proper assessment and I'm doing something with it, I don't need to hear criticism 37 times on the same thing. Now I'm just like recycling my fucking dopamine. By the way, dopamine and doing this journey, you're going to go into massive withdrawal. Okay. There is no dopamine in this. It's just like, there is no dopamine in this deal. Okay. This is a journey. It's hard. It's more difficult than fucking getting on a sailboat and going across the world, in my opinion. It would be like almost the same. Probably be a great experience, actually. Go a month on a sailboat and just write. Okay, next thing you got to do. Okay, all the frequencies. Do it however you want. Guys, draw, write. Keep a pencil with you. Make notes. I could write a book just attending these courses. I'd be like, damn, dude, this is some cool stuff. Okay, so we discovered all the people around us, how it's influencing us, the world that influences us. Like a little trick I started doing just recently is playing a lot of bells, man. I find that the frequency of bells and chimes are really very interesting to me some way. I'm highly instinctive, so I get these feelings. I'm like, oh yeah, I like that. That. Although it's not normal for me, I'd rather hear extreme rock and roll. This calm is quite interesting. Next thing you got to do, and that means we're getting ready to end up. Sorry, I went a little too long today, guys. Is we are going to do something before 12 p.m. tonight, or 12 a.m., I guess, 11:59 p.m. You're going to do something special and nice for another human being you don't know. A complete stranger. That means you're going to have to get out of your house, man. It could be your neighbor that you haven't talked to. They're effectively a stranger. Do something nice for somebody today, man. Buy them a box of candy, some flowers. Give somebody a $30 tip that deserves $3. I gave somebody I gave somebody a $500 tip, maybe, yeah, $500 tip for a massage the other night. It was worth $200 or $300. Wanted to give her 1,000. She's got a fucking tough life, man. The girl was so negative, though. She's so negative. I ended up peeling off $700, paid her $200 for the massage and $500 for a tip. She didn't even say thank you. Now, I wasn't expecting thank you at all. This was my $500. This was my, hey, Gary did something nice for somebody and didn't take credit for it. I was shocked. I wasn't shocked that she didn't say thank you. I was actually like, oh, wow, of course she didn't say thank you. This is why this woman has a horrible life. She's fucking bringing it in, man. Like, where, what world are you in where you get a $500 tip and you don't say thank you? Like, where, man? If this is the way you're behaving and you're getting shit, well, gosh, Bob, no shit, you're getting shit. You're giving out shit, okay? Your frequency. And the sad thing is, she's awesome masseuse. I'll probably never hire again. I keep saying, every time she leaves, I'm like, I should really not have her in my home. The energy's so bad. But she's brilliant. And she's always in trouble. Always a drama, always a story. So look, reach out to somebody, be nice to somebody. Don't wait for the outcome. Don't worry about it, dude. Okay? You're playing a different game now. You're playing the I am game. One of one. Only way we're ever going to become more godlike is to become aware of who we are and our frailties and are just not even knowing anything for certainty. And you cannot possibly know for certainty anything if you don't know who you are, what you're here for, and what you're supposed to be doing. So I know that it's important to me that you're in this world right now, just even listening. Okay, you provide something extremely valuable for me, which is at least for me to take one day a week, my tuning fork, and push it against other people, other like-minded people who are searching, and say, hey, here's my frequency, man. Does it resonate with you or not? And if it resonates with you, or if you think other people would resonate with it, benefit from it, maybe break their frequency a little bit, please share this room, invite people here. I'll be here next week, whether I like it or not. Because every time I hit the button, and go, let's record, Gary moves into just like, okay, I'm here now. I'm the paintbrush. How would you like me to fly around this little video thing? So I love you guys. I really appreciate you being here. Again, I get more out of this than probably everyone. And forgive me for, getting up and grabbing a coffee, or maybe it's not the most perfect process, but I'm trying to keep this really, really raw and authentic. Because I think that authenticity is almost as unique as you are. So thank you very much. Have a great Sunday, and I will see you guys next week.